Hey guys, welcome to another session of FFBE Global News. So I'm gonna post a disclaimer here. So at the time of me recording this news video, originally Gummy hadn't decided whether or not to announce FF4. All right. So it was until like just a couple of minutes ago. So the guys on Discord were like discussing like, well, maybe FF4 is coming or not. And I'm just like reading it after I made a separate news video, which I'm actually gonna leave in the edit. So whenever you see King's Night news coming, that's like an old news kind of thing. That was like maybe 20 minutes ago before making this section of the video. So this is the most updated information that we have in game right now. So apparently Gummy has decided to release Final Fantasy IV. So Panda, at the end of that old video, I was going "Ree" for you, man. I take it back. Congrats. So my Discord mod Panda has been waiting for FF4 forever. He has been crying in the corner a lot, and I feel really bad for him. So basically, I made a deal with him. I wasn't gonna pull on this banner, right? So conclusion was I wasn't going to pull on this banner, but for Panda's sake, I made a deal with him. When this banner releases, I'm gonna pull tickets on this banner, and we're not gonna see a step up apparently. All right, so step up banners are not gonna be like every day, everything. There's a discussion on that as well. My thoughts. Why they decided not to do step ups or everything. If there was a step up, I think I would have just pulled some 5Ks. Panda wants to see me get Pure Summoner Rydia or Kid Rydia and Atoning Dragoon Kain, Studious Helmetless Kain. He didn't really care about. But basically, I made a deal with him saying that when this event drops, for Panda's sake, I'll pull tickets until I fill a whole team with King Mog bonus units, right? And Minmi, who is my other Discord mod, she doesn't appear on streams at all, pretty much. But she got Twitch, and she was saying that, hey, maybe I'm gonna join. And I said, okay, guys, if both of you are on that day on stream, or at least if Minmi is on, I'm gonna be pulling 4-star tickets. Alright, so a lot of Pog champs going on, man. A lot of Pog champs. So anyways, let's get into the banner. A lot of stuff to discuss. So we got some global upgrades. Now, there is a tweet this morning from the FFBE Global official Twitter account saying that they decided to pull back on one of the things that was announced in their FFBE video. So originally, Kid Rydia was going to get an enhancement with the power of dual casting her summoner skills. And apparently I think that maybe make her too OP, so they left her with this. Alright, so global upgrade. Eidolon Bomb Explosion, consume evocation gauge to fire damage one enemy. Alright, so one enemy. This isn't in JP, so we don't know what. Oh, it is in JP, so it's a 1.18 times modifier hybrid attack using magic as spirit. And but apparently this is a global upgrade, so consumes evocation gauge to fire damage one enemy. I don't know how much this gets upgraded compared to what they had in JP. And also we have Rod Mastery, and I'm looking at least JP's wiki, and I don't see Rod Mastery here. So if this is Rod Mastery, this is most likely 50%. Just like the ability you can get from, I think, Octopus Teacher. Rod Mastery 50%, so that already increases her a lot. So yes, Panda, if I'm gonna pull and get a rainbow from this banner, I want her as well. Alright, I want her as well. We can celebrate together, man. Two Rydias, you know, playing in the playground or something. Anyways, we got Atoning Dragoon Kain. Now, again, here we have a lot of global upgrades, and a lot of the same description is available in JP, and I think there are frame changes. So again, on the FFBE Global official YouTube channel, they were saying that now he will be able to chain with Leela. Now, whether or not it is with Leela's physical attack moves or spirit moves, we're not 100% sure. But he also has Dragon Killer Plus, which in JP he has Dragon Killer, so he has an additional maybe 25%. boosts physical and magic damage against dragon monsters. So if it's like the actual materia, it's a 75% for Dragon Killer. As you can guess, he is a Dragoon, and he does have chaining moves. If he can chain with Leela, I think that would be his only chaining partner at the moment. I don't know if Global is going to do, like, you know, multiple chaining partners like they did that for Enhanced Fravia, which can chain with Orlando family. It's a really smart move on their part, definitely, and it definitely brings more flexibility in game. It causes people to want to pull for these units even more, because now they'll be useful in like 10-man trials, or if you don't run a dupe in other trials. So yes, he can wield 2 spears. He has spear mastery. Again, tons of damage in his kit. In JP, I don't think he was a very interesting Dragoon. We do have Roberta on Global, and Roberta just got enhanced, so Roberta still might be better as a jumper, I think. But he might come close second, I guess. TMR wise, Dragoon helmet, 40 attack helmet is the best helmet in attack we have so far. I think Fulton's helmet was the best for a long time. And if you want defense, I guess Fulton's helmet is still better, and Petrify resist. But 20% water and wind resistance, 40 attack, 28 defense. It's gonna be probably best in slot if you're running Roberta, so maybe you pull for his TM. Now even Rydia's Trust Mastery is good as well. 8-star, boost magic 40%, spirit 20, and then parameter Esper evoked is 10%. There is no unstackable icon on this, so maybe this is stackable, guys. Maybe this is stackable. If you want you know, Evo Mag 10%, this is your most ultimate Evo Mag, man. 40% magic, 20% spirit. We also have Yang here as a 4-star. His Trustmaster Monk's Alignment, 40% attack when equipped with Fist and 20% defense. And so this is kind of like Wurrei's large sword mastery kind of, but for Fist users. So this is going to be useful as well. We have a 3-star base Edward, Trustmaster reward, Vishnu Vest. It has a fire, ice, lightning, light, and dark resistance by 25%, and then defense and spirit 36, MP 15%. He's a bard, but again, 3-star bard's not gonna help too much, so just keep an eye out for that. And because again, like I have said, this is a King Mog event, so FF4 Febu Castle Guard. So again, just like any King Mog event, run it and trade for a lot of great rewards, tons of tickets, tons of cool items. Now this is something that I want to look at here. Frying Pan is hilarious because if you're a FF4 fan, you'll know why this is significant, but it's a hammer. 85 attack, 15% HP, that's gonna be really good on your tanks, and enables Beloved's encouragement, Yang only. It nullifies sleep. I guess you get knocked in the head with a pan, you usually would be knocked out, but somehow you get resistance to sleep with it. This is what I am interested in. Carnelian Signet. So enables Fire Snare, and it's a receive. So activates counters with Firaga after receiving a physical attack. This might be really fun to have in one of your maybe full evade units in arena. So definitely check out that for sure. We're gonna have yes, 4-star guarantee tickets and your typical 5-star trust Mughals. So definitely go ahead with that. And here are the bonus units. Now I heard that Rosa was supposed to be a bonus unit for this, but apparently it's not on this banner. So I guess we can neglect that information, that rumor. But as you can see, 100% bonus for your 5-star base units, 75% for 4-star, and Edward 3-star base get 50%. So again, this is why I made that deal with Panda. Pull tickets until I get 5 King Mog bonus units, and then I am done. Alright, so if Rydia and Kain decides to drop, of course I welcome them, but if not, yes, then sorry Panda, we won't see Rydia, but I do hope you get her. So like I said in the disclaimer at the beginning there, from here on is going to be my old news video. So yes, enjoy that, guys. So a lot of the stuff I say in that will not be relevant anymore, but hope you guys still enjoy. Hey guys, welcome to another session of FFBE Global News. So this is a really tough one because again, I keep starting off these news videos with deja vu, because it is. We have another repeat, another filler event. If you're new to FFBE JP, I think it's only a couple months ago, maybe 6 months now, that we had this King's Night event, the exact event. Exact event. I don't even know what to say about this. I only laughed when I saw this morning. So basically, it's gonna be a big like storm coming in the FFBE community, because everybody was expecting at least FF4 event coming. If you watched the FFBE official YouTube channel, that video dropped yesterday talking about like enhancements to these King's Night units. There's a FF4 coming with a pure summoner Rydia and I don't even know, it's atoning Kain or something. Anyways, helmetless Kain, and so everyone expected that event to be dropping today or this week, but no, sadly it's not. I'll discuss further of why I think this is happening, and definitely discuss with you guys like basically two views on like what's going on. But basically, let's deal with the banner at hand. So King's Night, Wrath of the Dark Dragon. And so as most of you know, King's Night is an old school game. I think as old as like Dragon Quest, maybe newer than Dragon Quest, but like back in the like the back when I think it was like on Nintendo, maybe, not quite sure, but very long time ago. And we know that there's a mobile version of King's Night. It's not doing too well, so there's rumors that King's Night may just stop development, as in the game will die on the mobile version. So it makes sense marketing wise for Square Enix as a whole to push players into FFBE. So like, let's say if you're one of the 100,000 players that plays King's Night, and you know that, oh, the game's closing now, where am I gonna go to? But then you're familiar with your characters here, Rayjack, Kaliva, Baruza, and Toby. Maybe you move to FFBE because you know they know that FFBE is one of their biggest money makers. So anyways, banner. All this information is already up on the wiki. There's no speculation. We know that the Global Rayjack and JP Rayjack are far different. Global Rayjack apparently is a lot more broken, as in he isn't as good as the JP version. A couple things to consider, obviously, for every time you're considering to pull is whether or not the TMR is worth it. So one thing is White Knight's Soul, boost attack when equipped with helm, boost defense when equipped with heavy armor, not stackable, and it's 40%. Now there are better attacking attack materials that give you 50%, and I would say that I'm not personally a fan of this TMR. I'm just looking at like all the possibilities. You might run into a unit that would have helmet, but most likely you're gonna have 40% attack material there anyway, and then the 40% defense split into heavy armor is kind of odd as well. So it's kind of like, are you going to be a tank or are you going to be a DPS? Maybe someone like Gladiolus with this might work if he can wear hats. I'm not even quite sure if he can wear a helmet, I mean. So it might be good for like a counter tank, I guess, but again, you shouldn't be like putting on like high attack gear on them anyway. We're gonna move on to Kaliva. So Kaliva here, I think Kaliva and Baruza are probably the only ones that I think are worth pulling. Kaliva just for his TMR, so unmatched wizardry. If you watch my previous FFBE videos, trial videos and whatnot, you know that sometimes I run a mage with unmatched wizardry, especially if I run out of like, let's say I have like 3 Mateus Malice or something, and I'm trying to split them among my my units. It's a really good one to have in handy. 50% magic when one-handing the weapon and the other hand is empty. So make sure it's not a two-handed weapon, so it's not exactly magic true double hand. So like it won't work for like Apollo Harp, for example. but it would work for like a single Mateus Malice, single Draco Spike or something like that. But boost 50% magic, which is quite significant if you don't have any other TMRs that can boost 50%. Let's say you don't have Dark Phoenix, Dark Bond, you don't have I can't even think of it off the top of my head, but other 50%, like Rod Mastery for example, you don't have enough to go around. Let's say you're doing 10-man trials and you need to run like 2 or 3 mages. Unmatched Wizardry will come in handy. I would say this, having 2 of them might be good, but remember they're not stackable. So again, I have 1 right now and I've been using it. It may not be best in slot for all scenarios, but it definitely gives your secondary mage a big boost. So definitely consider this, and has 10% spirit built within it. But I might, if I even bother pulling the dailies, which I'm not gonna bother pulling on the tickets for this, but if I bothered pulling on the dailies and I get 1 more Kaliva, that'd be great. So as you know, it's a raid, so free TMRs, guys, free TMRs. Coward Courage, this is actually pretty good too. Not exactly for the defense plus 30, the earth resistance plus 30 could come in handy. That's quite a big one. Plus the defense plus 30 enables primal instincts. I think this is a 30% damage mitigation, physical damage mitigation AoE. So if you don't have, like, let's say pod 153, this comes really close to filling that job. And I'm just thinking even ahead, like if we have a Golem 3-star Esper Trial, you either want Veritas of the Earth that can buff the entire team with 100% Earth resist, or you want your magic tank having something with this like Earth resist plus 30 into your already high Earth resistance. So as you know, Golem would do Earth, physical, and magic damage. So Baruza might be good. I've also heard that Baruza is actually a pretty good provoke tank, if I'm not mistaken. My information may be off, but again, all this information is on wikis right now, yeah, so because I never leveled mine up, but maybe this is because if we're getting filled banners like this, I may as well be leveling up some units, and maybe Baruza and Kaliva. Toby, you'll be getting him if you're pulling on this banner. 3-star, he's not too special. Trustmaster reward is not great either, as you can see it's a 5-star. Wind resistance plus 20 I'd say is probably the most important out of this, and then you get a 5% evade. So 5% evade, if you're building up to evasion gear, this is at least free. Again, it's not stackable because I think Gummy would know that it's too easy to stack this kind of stuff to get 100% evade. And as most of you guys know, whether new or old, evasion gear is one of the best things to have. Once you have a 100% evade set gears, you can take on a lot of trials like really easily, especially if you have a cover tank, physical cover tank. So we also have ability awakening updates. So now whether or not they're gonna be good, I'm not quite sure. Basically, it's not even announced in this week's news, so I would assume it's gonna come next week, like right after this, to continue the hype of this raid banner, as we're gonna have this raid for 2 weeks. So yes, the raid Conqueror of Izandar. We have this Wrath of the Dark Dragon. Again, it's not a hard one, not a hard event to 1-turn KO. I wouldn't recommend using the actual units for it, even though it's in this little thumbnail. But definitely bring Dragon Killer. If I remember correctly, he does dark damage and fire damage. So if you want to survive, definitely have some. And you can't 1-turn KO. Definitely have some fire or dark damage earth resistance. He might even paralyze. But this is off memory. I just remember I did have an easy time with this. Now, this, if we can get another one of this, if I can get another Lightbringer, this might be nice. So this kind of works well with my chaining, light elemental chaining. This would be a free weapon for you if you're new. 96 attack sword, which isn't terrible, and you could pair that up with, let's say you only have one Excalibur, one large sword Excalibur. You can definitely have a chain partner with this. It's really easy to run someone with a sword, so Tidus could use swords, Onion Knights could use swords if you're going to use Onion Knight for light elemental chaining. Everyone can pretty much use swords, and then you slap that on with like a Dark Knight Soul. Then this, you know, you get 50% more attack, so you can split your TMs between two DPS units, and I kind of like that. So if I get another Lightbringer from this event, I'm not sure if I can. That'd be good. Grasping sphere. I didn't actually craft this one myself, but again, Earth resistance plus 30. That's a really good thing. The defense and spirit and HP is not too great, but definitely Earth resistance to all enemies and boost damage to self. Boost defense for self is Carpet Bomb, but that's equipped with Baruza himself. But if you're not using it on Baruza, again, the 30% Earth resistance plus Baruza's TM gives you 60%, so that's pretty good. Staff of Blizzard's not terrible as well. It's Water Elemental. Has a Aquatic Implosion when equipped with Kaliva. Again, got this. I did use it before when I had lower magic gear, and it was pretty good. Wing Edges. So someone on my Discord actually said that his iPad broke apparently during him selling items, and he accidentally sold his Wing Edges. So here we have Wing Edges back. So dude, you get your Wing Edges back. 45 attack, Wind Elemental, and enables Speed Plus, and enables Tornado Alley when equipped with Toby. Speed Plus is a 5% physical evasion and a dagger, but as I was saying to him, it's not a big loss because you can... There's like I think six or seven different weapons that give you like 5% evade, and I think there's one that gives you 10% evade. So I mean, this isn't like, if you lose this isn't a big deal, but at least you get it back. Salamander's Gauntlets, Fire Elemental Fist. Craig Splitter is kind of nice for Earth Elemental because we don't really have too much Earth Elemental gear. So if you're going for Earth Elemental chaining, this might work well. The attack is kind of low, but defense is okay. Maybe you run this on a tank just for more defense and a 5% HP. And as always, when it's a raid, you definitely want to grind as much raid orbs as possible. And I think there's chances to get rare summon tickets even if you're pulling on this on the raid summon. So definitely do that, guys. And tons of again, free TMRs, Gill Snappers, and Cactuars for your levels. New units to awaken. Now this is probably the only news, at least for old time players, that is an exciting piece of news. So Rosa becomes 6-star. She's going to become a really good healer. So let me explain why. So when she was stuck at 5-star, she didn't have a raise ability. Now if you have beat Sheratan and you have Holy Wand, you'll have access to dual white magic, which is definitely good because you'll definitely need it if you're running her as your healer. Now, one of the major selling points for her as a healer is that she's a really decent MP battery. Not only that she actually have a skill that allows you to have MP over time, but her LB is probably what is most important for MP battery situations. So stuck at level 5, if you level up her 5-star, if you level up her LB to max, she has a 79% HP heal AoE and a 39% MP. But now in her 6-star form, if you max level her LB, she has 44% MP heal. So that is really crazy. If you have, like, let's say CG Nicole coming down the line and you have him at like 500, maybe 600 MP in his 6-star form, then Rosa, someone like Rosa, can probably like instantly heal. Like 44% of that is a big deal, guys. It's a really big deal. And so I think this is why a lot of people run Rosa. And obviously she does have some of the good healing abilities. Not the best. Remember, she is a 4-star base, but she gets Dispel Ga, right? So Dispel Ga, and she gets Isunaga. She has Kuraga already, so with High Spirit, you're gonna do some really good healing. Most importantly, in her 6-star form, she has access to full life, so single target revive of 100% HP. But if you have, again, like I said, Holy Wand, and you can dual cast white magic, or you just run dual cast on her if you don't have Sheratan yet, then you get a really good healer. She has Debrana, she has Deprona, Defaithna, and Deshelna. You can remove single target attack buff, defense buff, mag buff, or spirit buff. So let's say you're running a physical tank, and the physical tank you know, covers, and he gets debuffed. You don't have to do the Dispel Good trick. You can just use this, right? You can use Deprona, you single target remove the defense debuff, attack debuff on your DPS, spirit debuff on your magic tank. So again, she becomes really good, and she already has enhancements. So definitely look into that. If you were fortunate enough to get Tinkerer Bow, which was a Christmas exclusive unit, I think it's Tinkerer Carry is her name. Tinkerer Bow is really good. I think most people pulled on that banner mostly for her. I have 3 of her, but only 1 of her TMR. It's good because it's a single-handed bow, and for someone like CG Fina, they get a spirit bonus with bow or staff equipped. She gets it as well. She gets a 30% attack and spirit buff with passive when equipped with bow. So if you have that and you dual wield with Holy Wand, she's gonna have a lot of spirit. I'm actually probably going to level her up to her 6-star form and then check out how much spirit I can get her. Again, she's not gonna be a joke at all. People can already run her and rock her in her 5-star form. Can't wait what she can do in her 6-star form. Goddess Bow as a Trustmaster reward is not super impressive. We see bows now with, I don't know, Dragon Killer, Demon Killer, and then Bird Killer. This only has a 50% physical damage to Avian, 91 attack, 40 spirit. Most likely you won't really be using it on Rosa herself, unless you have nothing better, but 40 spirit I guess is probably the selling point. Slap that with her passive ability of the 30% spirit when equipped with bow. She does have some physical attacks, but the modifiers are so low, and most likely you're not going to be gearing her up for physical attack, so it to me it isn't as worth it. She does have one skill that is a 200% damage modifier, but magic damage spirit as magic. So again, you wouldn't need that 91 attack on this bow. It says it's the 7-star rating. I wouldn't rate it that high myself. Again, I would, if you were fortunate enough to get Tinkerer Bow, I would use that. Plus 40 spirit is not that great. If you're gonna be using Holy Wand, I think you can still get more, even with the 30% buff, 30% passive when equipped with bow. I think you still get more with Holy Wand. So that is the news for this week, guys. So if you're an old-time player, man, so Kuja, I'm gonna give you a shout out here. So Kuja gave me permission to use his name. So he was on Discord, and he's one of those guys that, you know, you can really tell he's really passionate about FFBE. I really appreciate him on Discord server. He brings a lot of really good information, but obviously he is locked into the theme of, you know, Global is following JP, and so he expects certain updates at certain times, and every time there's some filler, he's like disappointed. He's saying like, you know, how can Gummy make any money if he keeps doing filler banners? So let me explain, guys. So some of you may know that I'm in the gaming industry myself. I won't say where or whatnot, but basically, so this is not surprising news to me, because in the long term, I have said this in past videos, Gummy is making FFBE Global a separate game from JP. So imagine JP being, let's say, 6 months ahead in content, and then Global following the exact same pace, but only 6 months behind. How does that make any sense at all? Wouldn't people just play JP? But then you may say, Jagan, it's the language barrier, that's why people play Global. No, that's not the case at all. If Global wanted to make their own game, this is how they're doing it, and I can foresee it as well. I'm looking at JP, and I'm looking at how fast they're creating content, and I worry that they're gonna burn out. they're gonna burn out. There is absolutely no gaming company that can create content at the speed that JP does and last for a very long term. It's just not possible. It's not possible because the amount of work that has to go into it every single week. If you guys, okay, so one thing you guys can learn about me as I'm making these videos, I'll always like leave like little bits and pieces of myself, I guess. I used to work in the film industry. So basically there are two types of people in the film industry. And if you work in the film industry, you know, cheers to you, bro, or girl. Film industry is crazy hectic. You want to work on features, all right? Feature movies is 6 to 9 months of work. So let's say you work on like I've been using Michael Bay a lot. So let's say you worked on Transformers. 6 to 9 months of hard work, and then you get 6 to 3 months of a break, all right? And because movies takes about 2 to 3 years for production, and before like 2 to 3 years, there's pre-production, production, and then post-production, and then it comes to the theaters that we so love. It's a lot of time, and so people age slower in feature movies. Now, in TV shows, that's a whole other thing. So TV shows, most TV shows are like 12 to 22 episodes, and you have a year to do that. And basically, people hope to see the show new episodes every week, but most of us on big broadcast channels, you get reruns once or twice a season, all right? Once or twice every 3 months, because they need to catch up. Now, it takes a lot of work. I've worked in both TV show and movies, and I know the difference. It's a really big difference. So imagine this in game, right? So again, now I'm working in the gaming industry. If games produce as fast as JP, not just one event, right? This is why JP is also doing rerun events. It's because you have to keep the people satisfied. It's really smart what they're doing. It's delaying it, but I can see they're gonna burn out. So in Global's perspective, long term, they're going to want to delay things as much as possible and have a whole bank of content ready to deliver if they run out of reruns or if there's too much complaints. Now, some may wonder, okay, with this King's Knight thing returning again, and we have another filler, Actually, last week's wasn't a filler because we got Dracotor Lancer, so that was a new event. This is a filler event. Yes, we did get Cloud's filler event, but we have to treat Dracotor Lancer with Grave Robber Raid as our new event. So technically, we're not getting 2 filler events in a row, guys. We're not getting 2 filler events in a row. And again, people are saying that, you know, how can they make money? No one's gonna pull on this banner. First, they suck, and then secondly, people have already pulled on this. But you have to imagine, if let's say 5% player base, like just says like, okay, I rage quit, right? I'm not gonna play this game, FFBE. They're gonna gain more than 5% player base just because of this, all right? And people are saying, oh, it's just King's Knight. No. Even if it's not King's Knight, even if it's just some random stuff, even Dracotor Lancer, I can guarantee you in that week, they gain more than 5% player base. Alright, that's just how it works. It's because FFBE has a really good word of mouth right now. And yes, we are spoiled. You have to imagine this, guys. If you had no FFBE JP, is this actually a delay? Or is it just the norm? If it's just the norm, there's nothing to complain about. And again, this is how I've kind of made peace with Global's decision making, is that Global and JP are separate games. In the long run, man, Global's gonna make way more money because they keep delaying stuff. So imagine you had like you know, I keep using these examples. Maybe I should just stop. But imagine like you had let's say like a Lamborghini, right? And the car is really expensive, obviously, and you kind of want to savor it, right? Yes, you want to drive it like a lot, but you're not going to drive it daily, right? You're going to savor it. And I think this is how FFBE Global is treating itself. And the other thing is, I think that it is because the rumors of King's Knight, the game, not doing well is true. Like if you look at Google Play, look at the amount of downloads and the ratings on it is very low. I think that Square Enix in the long run is strategically planning a move of the player base into FFBE. So King's Knight, you probably have more casual gamers in it, not as hardcore. Because from my understanding, because don't take my word for it, I didn't get to play, so correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I'm always open for discussion and you know, room for error. If I'm totally wrong, I will admit it right off the bat. But from my understanding, King's Knight, the game mechanics is not hardcore, and so you know, you get a lot of more casual players, right? So it's easier to move casual players into a more technical game like FFBE. And the amazing thing about FFBE is you can cater to the hardcore players, you can also cater to the casual players. And so I do think that this King's Knight banner return is very, very strategic. And then plus we are getting their enhancements, again, yet delaying. So now predictions. So before, Kuja again on Discord was saying that, oh yeah man, by E3 man, they're gonna announce 7-star. I was saying on Discord like a long time ago, and you guys on Discord, you would know that I have said this, I predicted this. We're probably not gonna get a 7-star announcement, maybe a hint of 7-star, but they're not gonna give us a tight date. I think at the most this week at E3 we're going to get news of CG Nicole coming, because FF4 has been released, the news, and I think CG Nicole will round off the month, the end of the month, as the big polling event. As most of you know, on JP and Global, everyone is psyched about CG Nicole, best buffer in the game by far, and in JP he's only, I think, falls second. So yeah, so we're looking forward to that, and you know, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think people are bored, so all this discussion on Discord, on the forums, on Reddit and whatnot, it's gonna be a fun time, guys. It's gonna be a fun time. Yes, we're gonna get a lot of people raging, and we're gonna get a lot of people like me speaking on behalf of Gummy, I guess. And no, I don't work for Gummy. Just in case you guys are wondering, I don't work for Gummy. So yes. Enjoy this week, guys, and hopefully by next week we get some good news. And Panda, my Discord mod, this is for you, my boy. He's very disappointed. He's very upset that FF4 has been delayed so much. He really wants his girl kid Rydia, so and I also promised him that I will poll on that banner, and now more so because of this disappointment. So anyways, let me know what you guys think, if you guys are interested in discussing down in the comments below, as this will be posted on YouTube. If you have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, I appreciate you guys watching these very long, boring discussions where I share my thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time.